Do you want to go over Melodious and Progressive Etude number 9 by David Hite? Let's do it. Hello and welcome to Woodwind Ninja. My name's Jay, and today we're going to go over Melodious and Progressive Etude number 9 by David Hite. Alright, here we are. We have found ourselves in E major. Right over here, 4 sharps. Hello, 4 sharps. As you probably already know, sharps always come in the same order. F sharp first, C sharp second, G sharp third, D sharp fourth. This gives us a particular requirement in practicing our scale. Let's practice our scale right now. As you can see, this book lists our range that we need to practice the scale in order to play every note in this piece. It starts on low E, goes up to high B, and we're going to go back down. So, I've written this out right over here. Let's check this out. Now, we start on low E. You know there's 2 ways to finger low E, right? We can finger it with our left pinky on the inside key, or we can finger it down here, the lower right-hand corner, with our right hand. And that's how we're going to have to do it. We're going to have to finger low E with our right pinky, F sharp on the outside with our left pinky, G sharp with our right pinky. Then, when we get up to B, C sharp, and D sharp, which are the same fingering pattern with the register key on, we're going to have to do the same thing. B, right pinky, C sharp, left pinky, D sharp with our right pinky. As you can see, there actually is a alternate D sharp key on this particular clarinet, but not everybody has it. And I also think it's good to learn to play the clarinet as if you didn't have it, because that is the way that we learned clarinet back when I was a kid. So I think it's a good starting point, to say the least. So let's do it right now. We're going to play the scale. A nice, easy speed at first. Here we go. 1, 2, and ready. If this happens to be new for you, fingering in this way, you know, going over this fingering pattern, E, F sharp, G sharp, or B, C sharp, D, when the register key is pressed, maybe it's good to practice just those 3 notes. So we're going to play low E, F sharp, G sharp, and then back down that same thing. So E, F sharp, G sharp, F sharp, E. We're going to do it nice and slow because our fingers can sometimes take a little longer than we'd like them to learn a pattern. Just like that. We'll do it in 2 repetition units. just to give our brain and our fingers a chance to bring them in. Really get it. Here we go. 1 and 2 and ready. And let's do it again, exactly that same speed, with the register key pressed, just so we can see how that feels. Terrific. Now practice that a few times if you need to. If you don't, speed on ahead. But now that we've practiced that particular unit, that very specific thing that is required for this scale, let's go ahead and play the entire scale one more time. 1, 2, and ready. Great. Now that we've got the scale together, let's take a look at the etude. This etude has a specific rhythm pattern all over it. Did you notice? It is this dotted eighth 16th pattern. Now, for those of you that are new to a dotted eighth, it gets 3 16th notes. That sounds more confusing than it is. That just means, as you know, there's 4 16th notes in a beat. 3 of them are basically tied together into one note. I've got a subdivided version of this somewhere. Let's take a look at that. So now you can see 3 16th notes equal 1 dotted eighth note. So I actually wrote this out. I should have taken this unnamed treble staff off of the sheet. That's a little embarrassing. Forgive me for that. Whew. Okay, but what I've done here is shown you how you can articulate those notes. We're going to do it slowly so you can hear the 16th notes right inside that. So you can hear those 3 16th notes along with that 4 16th note to represent all 4 16th notes inside the beat. Now we're going to flip back to the traditionally printed music. I'm going to play it again. See if you can hear those 16th notes in your mind, in your ear, while I play this version of it. And that goes all the way throughout this piece. The dotted eighth note always falls on the beat in this particular exercise. So keep that in mind. Bum, ba-dum, 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 ba-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da. Oh, my voice isn't quite ready for prime time yet. I'm going to keep working on it. Now, we've got that. That's pretty much the thing. Learn an E major and getting this rhythm really straightened out. I do have this available for download for free on my website, woodwindninja.com. And I will put a link to that in the description so you can get right there if you want to see this and practice this. I actually also looks like. I put in where you are required to use your right hand on that B. It's an imperative there. Particularly if you don't have this extra key. If you have this extra key, you can kind of do whatever you want. I learned to play without that extra key, so I still do it the way that I learned it a long time ago. And other than that, there's really not a lot to look at. We've got some dynamics. We don't have a fancy tempo instruction. Moderato, 112. That's pretty clear. We've got some dynamics, but not too many. We've got some well-placed breath marks. He also wrote an R for the imperative of the right pinky on that note. So I think in terms of accidentals, remember an accidental is anytime they change the note to be different than the key signature. The only confusing instance of that, and when I say confusing, I mean potentially confusing, is this A sharp. A sharp, as you probably know, is the same as B flat. So we're going to finger that like A with this lowest side key. And of course, using just that middle, that's not even the middle. It's between your knuckle and this first little break in your finger. Boop, boop, boop. That area there on that key. In all of this, follow the articulation, because that's going to put our tongue on the downbeat, and that's going to help keep us nice and steady. This is not the most musical of the etudes in this book. This is teaching us this rhythm, and also to be very specific and intentional with the use of our pinkies. When I flashed down on the screen, I saw one more thing we should talk about. And that is this note here. That is a B sharp. What? B sharp is the same as C natural. So in this particular instance, we're going to finger B with our left pinky and our right pinky. We're going to have them both down. That way we're ready to go to our B sharp, also known as C. And then we are going to use our left pinky for a C sharp when we get right to measure 15. It's going to look like this. Let me see. Where am I? I said measure 15. That was crazy. I meant measure 30. Sorry about that. So when we're going into measure 30, we've got B natural, B sharp, C natural, and then C sharp on the downbeat of 30. I mean it this time. Okay. And that's that. We've got these D naturals, but D naturals should not be a challenge to any of us here. Okay, you ready? You heard me play it once? I'm going to put it back here so you can play along with me. Let's do it. Thanks for stopping by. Check out woodwindninja.com. I'm on Facebook. Check it out. Like, subscribe, ding that bell. What do they say in the world now? Smash that like button. Yeah, do it. All right. Thanks for stopping by. I will see you next time.